caught off guard by the bans, ended up forgetting to pick the map.
Well done. Well, that's a good start. That's not going to tilt you when you're going into it. Like, oh, maybe we kind of just screwed ourselves up here. Regardless, it's a fresh start, and Mousesports, they'll be starting on the CT side of Cash. Godsent will be on the T side. They'll be on the offense, and already Twist eating a face full of shrapnel. Nice nade early on, sent in from Mousesports just to get that anti-boost going in. And already Godsent actually gathered up outside of B. They're waiting to see if they can actually, sneak their way in here, but for now, it's a fight in mid. Both teams trading quite a few shots, but no kills.
Speedy being dropped a little bit low. Next is hiding on the other side, which is pretty good to do, especially in the pistol round, because they're not going to have any Molotovs to check that corner with, so that should be just fine. Speedy, on the other hand here, because he's already on 21 health. If they rush him with the Glocks, Chris is going to be nearby, and they don't have a smoke to block him off either, but it'll be a little bit tricky, and you can see Twist making some noise. I don't know if that's the most impressive way to sell a fake, just firing a single round into the bomb site. But Chris, look, there's no cover here. He has to just get headshots. They're coming through. Oh my God, Chris! Third one coming through. He has to reload. How is this man still alive? He finally goes down to Pronax. Christ, Jay has arrived to save the Mousesports team, and Twist and Pronax. How do you mentally recover from that?
I'm stumped, I don't know how, because that was some sick aim basically from Chris. That's the USP, that's the nightmare USP that you always worry about running into when you're on the T side. You're trying to jump in, you're trying to take the fight, but you can die from one click. And Chris, he turns up big, but now they're trying to make the play here to A. Mousesports, they're perfectly fine with this. They have a man at car already, and that's Dennis finding the first headshot for them. Pronax is down, and it's going to be on Twist now to come up with something big, but Nico's in position to shut him down, not allow him to get onto that site for the plant. In any case, Mousesports were set up for the retake, so with a 4-on-2 going into a retake on A, everything was pointing towards Mousesports crushing through that pistol after Chris J's performance.
I mean, this is the best situation you can have as a terrorist, is just to run in and find someone out in the open like that. You're so close with the Glock as well. It should be 100%. And they end up somehow getting 3 kills on Chris there.
The word is wrecked. The word is wrecked, Anders. That's the one you're looking for there.
Second round coming up, and we've got just armor and pistol here. They never got the bomb plant. 3 Tech 9s. A pretty good stack going on over towards the A-bomb side, although Nex is slowly rotating on back in here, but Mousesports look to be in position.
Yeah, soul smoke going out there for Godsent. They hope to just be able to catch these guys off guard, but Nico, he will finally go down. Nex is rotated in from CT, however, and he's doing massive damage. He takes out Lekro, and now he's in position to take out Pronax as well. Once again, Twist find himself all by his lonesome. Last man alive. At least he has the bomb, but a 1v3 and already headshot down by Chris. Not a chance to get anything rolling here for Godsent in these first 2 rounds. They just get shredded every time they show themselves. When they try and get onto that bomb site, the Mousesports players, they are not missing the opportunity to pick up those initial kills and slow everything down for Godsent.
And this round going to be even more difficult here, which is also why Mousesports feel confident in holding on to the UMPs. Obviously, scout on Chris, see if they could just build a bit of a foundation for themselves. Godsent, that pistol round was their big opening chance to really make an impact on the game early on here. I mean, if they had rushed and killed Chris, then Speedy would have been alone with 20 health, so it really was close. Good clicking away in the middle. Next also being able to pick up a kill. No one dying yet on the Mousesports side at all.
I like this from Mousesports, though, to start off by focusing on mid. A lot of mid control in all of these rounds, basically, well, letting Godsent know that we're not going to let you walk in here for free. You need to take this into account, Pronax, when you start making your strategies once you have the rifles online. Perfect anti-ego coming in here from Mousesports. They duel in mid, then they wrap around to B. Easy round for them, make a lot of money. That's the whole point, right? But for Godsent now, they have to take that into account. The fact that, okay, Mousesports, if they continue to run mid setups, how can we abuse that? Is it going to be a B rush and A rush? Can we actually, try and just get out onto the extremities while those guys are waiting in mid? Or is it something that we actually need to just run headfirst into?
And they decide to save the scout and both the UMPs. So maybe just a little bit greedy maybe here on the Mousesports side, but if it pays off, then they're really going to have a lot of money. So not necessarily a bad sort of choice, but it does limit some things for them. Nico playing close to the forklift, definitely not a bad position for the UMP.
No, especially because right now, Godsent, they were set up to see if Mousesports were going to go for a flash A, if they were going to try and push into A main at all. Twist and Pronax were both ready and waiting. But right now, Pronax is gearing up for a smoke to go over the wall. And we'll see if they do decide to commit to this A side. It does look like it for Godsent. And Nico just charges straight and catches the man with the nade in his hand. Full on spray, and he takes out Schneider. And that's a horrendous start here for Godsent. They absolutely need Schneider to stay alive because now they have to worry about having Nico at their backs. Godsent still trying to push out onto the site, and Dennis is going to get caught out on the extremity. That was in Garage. So it's down to the 3 players now trying to push on, and they are just not going to get anything going for themselves. Chris is there to pick them out of the sky. Pronax looking to bring it back, and he will find one big headshot. But Nex is there instantly to refrag, and Lekro now alone.
That was a great shot, actually, on Chris. Pretty impressive. Lekro actually was playing very, very well. And I felt like I knew next to nothing about this guy coming into the tournament, but he's actually stepped up to the level of his team quite well. So that in itself is quite impressive, obviously. Playing with some fairly big names there. Trying to see if he can sneak around and maybe do a bit more damage. I do believe Chris also got both those shots with the smoke, which is quite impressive. Oh, he actually goes for the pre-fire, but they peek him all at once. And 2 kills for the UMP of Nico. And you could bet that peek into the squeak door there put Schneider a bit on tilt because it happens just when he's not prepared for it. That's going to get you upset.
That was a super sick play from Nico, basically, because you used to see this, actually. It came up in Dust 2 as well. When teams were going for the B split, you kind of just charge into Upper Dark and you hope to catch somebody off guard up there, not expecting that aggression out of the defense. They expect to have to take the fight to you. Nico, instead, he makes the snap decision to just charge in on Schneider. If a second man is there, he's a dead man for sure. Yeah. But the fact that it's only Schneider, it works out perfectly for Nico. And so, well, Godsent now, they just have to kind of recover here. Twist already dropped down to 13 to start. Palf, though, will find a nice headshot onto Chris. But Speedy's still alive on this site. And once again, Mousesports, they have control of mid. So Godsent are kind of limited in their options. Until Schneider can kind of get in here and make a play, they're going to have to worry about the man in vents, and that's exactly where Nex is playing from.
Chris just simply not even checking the corner there. He was, for some reason, he was so sure that they were going to be further on out. So just a bit of a mistake, actually. Difficult though when you're on the terrorist side when you steal a rifle like this. It's not quite the same if you're having an eco round on the CT side. It's easier to try and put that in a defensive position somewhere. As a terrorist, you kind of have to go and use it somewhere and see if you can make the most of it. They have got 1 smoke and 2 flashbangs, so
yeah, but they're on the other side of the map and on Pronax. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah,
he's the only guy with any utility.
Oh, he's actually going to use it to fake it out here. That's very interesting.
The decision. That's smoke. The back of the side as well, just splitting it up. I mean, it almost got Nico to rotate off, but now Nico, he's still hanging around in car. This is some good discipline being displayed by him. Excellent trigger shot there as well onto Palf. Just knocks his head right off. And so Godsent, they might actually get a bomb plant here, Anders.
Well, this is the depressing part, actually. Both Twist and Lekro got out of Squeak without even getting noticed. So if they'd had the bomb instead, they would have had a clean bomb plant without anyone from Mousesports knowing about it. Now instead, because the bomb got caught coming out of main, everything went south. Pronax is going to be picking up an AK, and he might as well just save it here in the middle, well, assuming they don't come and kill him, because they're not going to win the round, obviously. Goes for the peek, quick, almost gets that frag on Nico, but not quite. This is going to be Mousesports up 5-0. And Godsent finally picking up some more rifles here.
Good sign, good sign. Cheers for the sign.
Yeah, keep making the man in the crowd. Always makes for good entertainment. AWP on Schneider, and there's one on Chris. Between Schneider and Chris, I'd have to pick Chris, even on land, to get some opening in.
Especially with the performance that he gave us in the pistol run. He's kind of calmed off since then, but he really hasn't had too much action for himself. Now he gets to kind of hold up in mid. We'll see if he can actually catch somebody boosting out. They have shown, or I mean, Godsent rather, have shown that they're willing to go for boosts. So Chris seems like he wants to take position along with Nex and mid to try and shut that down when Godsent try and go for it. Spitty, not sure if he spotted that man there in checkered, but a little bit of information gained. And so Godsent, they're just trying to get Mousesports to use their utility, their nades, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. It's only really Chris and Dennis who have many to work with. Spitty still has an incendiary, but they're pretty light right now on the nades, Mousesports, so it's going to come down to whether Godsent can actually get this mid control or not.
And Nico has just been in main checking and seeing no one there. He was sort of creeping through the smoke a little while ago. And that's already some pretty good information for his team just to work off of. He's going to go for a quick peek in again. And actually, look at that. Follow up with the flashbang. So if anyone was there turning around for it, they turned right back into another flashbang as they were looking for Nico. Now, the only thing is, Pronax can hear those flashbangs, and you could bet he's smart enough to know what that means. They've already checked. So now when they come back in, they might be feeling a little bit more safe, and you can see that there is a bit of a sort of a rotation happening towards B. Chris is down there, Speedy's also there, Nex moving closer. They're all being faked by the fact that they've already checked this out. And now Nico trying to fall back, and he's caught out in the open And Pronax to take him down next, trying to get back here, but actually he's committing too much to this. He's gonna go down as well. Even if he just trades, his team needs him to stay alive later on. That bomb, oh no! 10 seconds, it's out in the open. Godsent, this is supposed to be their round now. 6 seconds left. That bomb finally being picked up on Lekko. There's another monster. Oh no! There's no time! Godsent, they're gonna lose the round to Molotovs. What a ridiculous round.
What a sick play from Mousesports. And how disgusted must you feel if you're Godsent right now? Look at this. The first one canceled out. That's a tough break. But for the second Incendiary to be perfect, spot on to deny Lekko, who didn't even have full HP. Yeah, get out. Mousesports are basically telling Godsent to get out of the server.
That's not even like a play you can even make that play. Those Molotovs are thrown 100 million times without doing anything at all. It's just that in this particular round they both worked. I mean, if you go back and look at them, you see 100 of those Molotovs that never do anything at all. Most they do is 12 damage to someone, and then that's it. They're irrelevant for the rest of the round. But this time they actually work. Chris taking down Twist as well. That has got to put you on tilt, because they were playing everything perfectly. Pronax hears the flash. He knows they've already checked, so they use that against them. They actually use the information that Mousesports get against them, because they guess that the rotation is going to be happening towards B. They walk in, they take out Nico. Everything is perfect, and then they still can't win the round. That must be very upsetting.
And Godsent, man, they're trying to get that mid control back. They're trying to actually, put up a fight here versus Chris J, but it's just not happening. Chris with 2 kills, he gets the fall back, play it safe towards B. In the meantime, Godsent, they look like they want to try and collapse onto this A side eventually. Palfa's got the bomb, 45 seconds left, making his way into A main. Schneider holding out in Link, and finally something goes right here for Godsent. He takes out Chris J. This might keep Mousesports guessing for a second. Only problem is that Nex is still there to keep an eye on Link, and 3 guys are over towards A. Nico picks off the first man. Palf is there to take out Dennis at least, but Smoke is blocking them off from CT, and he needs to get onto that site and get the bomb plant so they can actually start working with the clock instead of having it work against them. Nice that Nico decides to donate himself as well. So now a 2-on-2, and things are getting interesting considering they have decent post-plant positions here, Godsent.
Well, look at how crisp their aim is as well on Godsent. It's not that they're not aiming well, they just need to win these clutches here. They put out the Molotov themselves. There is one on Speedy. There's a smoke on next. They have so much utility still. There's the Molotov going behind, so now they're forced out into the open. Oh, it's going to be last second. Lekko actually dies. Speedy reaching out from beyond the grave to take him with him, but they win the round even though everybody dies on Godsent's side. Still, I think they're going to be quite happy with it. And if you look at the money from Mousesports, they're going to be able to buy this round, but that almost exhausts their entire bank. So it has been sort of close, even if it's been 6 in a row for Mousesports. Wow.
Oh, and I like it from Pronax. This is how you can actually catch Mousesports off guard. You haven't really gone for the ultra aggro B. And yeah, we got the chant going as well in a key round. This is Godsent's opportunity to run away with this. Perfect flash onto Spitty. He's full blind, doesn't do any damage at all. Lekko only down to 64, and then the smoke goes down to block off CT. Next, perhaps will try to be the hero, tries to dunk a nade, but it's not quite happening. The bomb will be able to get onto this site. He does manage to snake on past there, Schneider, and he will be able to get the plant. And now it's up to the retake here for Mousesports. They have closed in, but Godsent are covering all the points right now.
Oh, almost giving himself up a bit then. There's no reason to do that. Schneider, Twist nearly catching one out. Next coming in with a kill on Schneider, and now it's back into a 4-on-4. Dennis looking to break through the vents, and he's going to be successful first hand. Goes in again. And right now it's a 2-on-2. Nico and Chris still left with a bomb ticking in that site. It's not planted, I think, for Squeak, or actually is it? No, for Checkered. It might just be Twist going to get the first kill there on Chris, and now Nico trying to sneak it. It is, in fact, planted for Checkered. I wasn't sure if they got it in the corner. And now, yeah, there's almost no way to get out of this. He goes down to Twist. The Godsent going to win the round with Twist picking up a quad kill. Very, very good round. That is going to... They should shut down Mousesports by here. I don't see how they could they are actually going to force it up. That's a big risk. A very big risk.
And that quad kill needed to happen for Twist as well. He was lagging so far behind. That puts him actually at the top of the scoreboard for Godsent. That's how rough this has been for Godsent so far. Him and Pronax, 5 kills each. The rest of them low single digits. Whereas what's interesting is that for Mousesports right now, everything should be perfect. Nex is top fragging for them. He's hitting shots on land in front of the crowd. It's a huge turnaround for him. So the force buy coming out here from Mousesports, they know they're in a double eco scenario, so they're just going to go for it, and Spitty gets flashed through the smoke. Trade 1-for-1. Not quite effective. Chris J still on the site, full flash, and they just continue the pressure, and he nearly gets tagged through that smoke. Now it's Schneider lurking his way over onto A, looking for the rotate. And he might actually be calling to his mates to get over here because now he's pretty much on this site. He can catch them out as they come back on, and he does spot the man coming in from CT, but Nico just barely gets out alive.
Well, Pronax is making his way. That it's taking so long, and Nico just takes matters into his own hands and shuts it down with a deagle play. That's so unusual as well. Why would you do that? But it does work out just beautifully for him. He's ready for the next one too. He's so lethal with this pistol. It's almost unreal. 3 versus 4 right now in about 50 seconds. We're getting a little bit of mid control with Lekro in there, and Mouse are actually starting to rotate back in towards him. The bomb is still outside, and there's Twist picking up a great shot on Nico. 3 on 3 with now 35 seconds, and it looks to me like they're heading back towards B. Chris is in that corner.
It's kind of scary to be going back to the only, pretty much, well, the only rifle, the M4 on this map, and Chris has already shown that he's able to hit shots, and he's lying in a bit of a cheeky spot out in B halls, and he's going to be able to spray down 2. It's on Twist now to hit the shot, and he will, point blank. Might as well have stabbed Chris with it, but he gets knocked down to 10 HP, so the smoke goes down in CT, and he's actually just going to go ahead and take the fight straight up. But he doesn't get any, no luck for him, no luck. Had he caught somebody there, a 1v1 plant situation could have been big, but now both Mousesports members can gang up on him and just rush him down with the AWP. Just wasn't going to happen if Mousesports were quick enough and if they moved together as a unit there.
Great defense set up by Chris, and I mean, a really, really good angle for him to cover. Hard for them to predict who was going to be there, so heads up play. 7-2 going to be the scoreline. And moving into the 10th round, that bomb plant inspiring enough confidence in the Swedish team to actually pick up what rifles they can and Tech 9s for the rest. So less risky than if they're on the CT side. I'm less worried about this.
It's basically, I mean, this is a cry for help. This is them actually just going for it. 2 AKs, 3 Tech 9s. They've only have 2 rounds on the board right now. Godsent versus Mousesports is 7. Godsent know that if they allow Mousesports to get much further, this first half is going to be a catastrophe for them. So they absolutely need to get something done in this round. They haven't had much success going for the big rush onto the A site so far. I mean, obviously with the incendiaries, but here we go. The opening kills coming in. Lekro trades, and Schneider's there to get his back. And it does work out in the end for Godsent. They do get onto that site, but they're taking a lot of damage in the process. Bomb has been planted, though. So now Mousesports, they have to weigh themselves out here and say, okay, do we go for this retake or not? Can we find a kill very quickly? And they find Paul lurking, but he does get the at least the 1-for-1 trade there.
It's an incredible amount of damage done early on by Palf there. Just the one click was a headshot. Flashes through. Next can't see a thing, but apparently neither can the terrorists on the other side. What is happening? Pronax coming in to try and help out, but he gets shut down. Now it's a one-on-one. Next with the pistol out. There's not a lot of time, and he doesn't have a kit picked up either, and he's going to go down. Twist will take it, and it will be Godsent finding a 3rd round and resetting Mousesports economically, and they really shouldn't be forcing him. Once again, it'd be so much of a risk if they force this.
It's like an envy level force, basically. You know, the envy level turnaround where they have no right, but they actually managed to pull it off.
They're doing it. They're actually doing it.
But the gamble, that was the big gamble, and it works for Pronax this time around. Good trading across the board, and Palf, that 1 kill in mid, that made all of the difference for his team. Him trading 1-for-1 made it possible. But look at this, Nico, man, no fear, straight up rush. He's got a man backing him as well, that's Dennis. So the 2 of them moving into Squeak, looking for a frag. Now they can actually lie in wait, because Godsent, they keep showing that they want to go towards that A site, so it might be good to just leave somebody behind. Instead, they're just getting the info, gathering it up, as Godsent actually take over mid this time without anybody there to contest it from Mousesports.
Look at how Mousesports as a group are running around all over the map. Just because they kind of have to when they have this little equipment. They need to all be in the same spot, and it seems like they've chosen the right one. They're rotating in just in time. Chris has already tagged up one, but Twist with a great opening, following up with another one. And Chris, grenades are raining in, smokes to cover the cross here, and they are making their way past Lekro with a great shot, taking out Chris. They're not working for Mousesports this time, and this is Godsent's opening to get back in this game, and it's still very much possible here. It's about to be 7-4, and that's a scoreline they can absolutely work with. Twist, 3rd kill of the round for him, and Nico going to be all alone. He was left as a sort of backup in case anyone came back this way, but now they're going to have to go and hunt for him. Twist currently at 11 kills. They're doing a very good job getting back in this game.
That was very solid by Nico as well. There was no saving next. There was no helping him. He was already dead. Godsent, we're going to just wrap around onto upper and check it for sure on their way out. And so better that he stays alive with the 2 flashes, the incendiary, the Deeg, and the Kevlar. Maybe they can actually have something to work with next round. That's what he's hoping for. Maybe they go for the same play. I mean, at this point, it does make sense for Mousesports to go for the double push into Squeak. once again, just because nobody saw it from Godsent last round. So you still have that element of surprise. They can still try and rinse and repeat. And with Nico and the Deeg, anything is possible. You can still walk in there and just take somebody's head off.
What I'm worried about now, because we saw Chris pushing B as well, I think now Mousesports have actually gone aggressive so much early on here that I imagine Godsent are going to be waiting for a while now. They're just going to be lurking about, seeing what's happening, because they've already used so many aggressive tactics that it's unlikely they'll just walk into anything at this point. And that's what sometimes worries me about doing it so early in a match. You see how Pronax is really, really far back, and they're just ready and waiting for them to push anywhere. And none of this is catching the Swedes off guard. When you do it early in a match, you can't pull it out as sort of an ace up your sleeve later on to do it. Well, Nico doesn't care about the element of surprise, just about headshots.
Yeah, then that was all off. I mean, now he's got the AK to work with as well. Godsent instantly try and bring it back on the other side of the map. They're applying pressure towards this B-side defense. They are actually doing some pretty good damage. Speedy gets dropped down to 20 HP, but Chris is there as well as next. So the defense is pretty solid for Mousesports. They're just going to run right into it, though, and a perfect incendiary, forcing Chris J to dance. And now Nico and Dennis, it's almost like Nico, well, they should be able to buy in the next round regardless, so holding on to the AK, it's not the end of the world. If he can actually get in here and do a little bit more damage, that would be pretty decent. It seems like he is going to be hanging back in link. Dennis is going to be the one taking point here with the Deeg. Boom.
He tags up Pronax, but not for the kill. How much money does Nico have? Can he buy an ult for Chris? That's an interesting question. Well, it's not going to matter because Pronax will take him down.
No, he's 50 short.
Yeah,
that's painful.
They just don't have... Even if he had it, I would not want to sacrifice Nico to get an orb on Chris. I think that would be a ridiculous sacrifice.
I mean, at that point, it's like, Chris, take the rifle. I'm actually going to glass cannon off, because Nico can off, right?
Yeah.
If you were going to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
But at this point, I think it's just prioritize the nades. Get the nades going, whatever you can. You only have 5 smokes, handful of flashes. It's not a whole lot to work with here on Mousesports' side, so I'm curious to see if they're going to try and go aggressive again. They did kind of dance around in checkered for a moment, and Chris J will be getting in forward, and he's taking a bit of a duel with Lekro as well. Lekro, the one just going for the mad spray, and it does look like Mousesports in the end. They'll be going for the boost up into vents.
Successful so far. I do want to point out that none of the Mousesports members have any head armor, and they are playing against the Galil and one M4A1, so it actually does make a difference this time that they don't have the money for the head armor, whereas if they were playing against all AWP and AK, the difference is really negligible. It's only really pistols or if you shoot someone through a box that it makes a difference. But against these 2 rifles in particular, you could be unlucky and you could lose a fight that you otherwise wouldn't. So just a tiny detail here that sometimes it does change just a bit what it is you buy. And again, fairly aggressive from Mousesports here. I mean, Chris so far up on the corner, they keep trying to put on this kind of aggression, and I can't see it working. I think Godsent, they must be aware of it, although Chris is actually breaking through. Somehow he's managed to walk right past Pronax, and they're setting up in the middle. Oh my God, this could be a huge infiltration play coming out of Chris. Now, is the timing going to be right for it? Because they're losing control in the middle. Dennis is going to be going down. Chris will have to save them once again, just like he did in the pistol round. Twist just wreaking havoc right now, getting another kill in there. Chris is behind them, and timing, where's it going to be? Is Pronax? No, he's not. He's sitting back in. This is ridiculous. They're actually going to try and see if they can sandwich in towards the A-bomb site. Lekro going down. Chris showing up, and he gets the shot on Puff. The bomb is trapped up there as well. And there's just 15 seconds left. This could be the game, or it could be the round at least. Chris looking for the spray and picks up a second one. What a ridiculous round. They must have thought that was working so well, Godsent, not knowing all the time that Chris was right behind them.
Counter-terrorists win.
That's almost unreal.
That's a sour pill, basically, for Twist as well, just because he did so well with that AWP. He cleared out mid, and all of a sudden, they actually have mid to work with, Godsent, but instead, they just walk right into the blender on the A site. So nice defense put up there by Mousesports, and I mean, yeah, you're right, Chris, he's the hero of that round. The fact that he didn't give it away until the very end as well, well, I mean, Pronax didn't have a choice. He had to run with his knife out. There just wasn't enough time to make a play at that point. So Godsent, man, just getting completely caught off guard, and we'll see if they can actually recover from this. Need to just keep their cool, keep their focus, and again, just focus on B site early on. Twist with the AWP, hoping to get lucky in mid. Not going to find anything. And instead, it's Godsent just getting control. Being very thorough about it as well, getting all the way up into checkered. So now, I mean, Chris, he's not going to have as much, not much room for movement over here along with Spitty. They're going to have to sit and be patient on the sites. Mousesports, again, just completely giving up mid. Next is holding all the way back outside of Link. They aren't doing anything to stop Godsent getting mid control here. So Godsent actually have everything that they need at this point.
And look how far into checkered Porf is as well. He's just basically keeping 2 people trapped on this bomb site alone. This is a fantastic trade just in terms of positions for Godsent. If he doesn't even have to challenge, just stay here and keep them locked on the site. Molotov goes down, he's forcing them to use grenades. Instead, they're actually bringing everyone else in, and you hope that's not a mistake right now. There is sort of a flashbang on Chris and a little bit on Speedy as well, so they could defend themselves for a while, but Chris is going to be going down. Speedy taking one with him, going for a second spray, but Lekro with 2-for-1 trade. Next jumping down, and I think a bit of a misclick there as he tried to unscrew the silencer mid-jump, and obviously that's not part of any kind of playbook.
What does happen next, though, is an eco. And not Nico, as in like an eco round. What is that shot, Twist? You've been so good so far. You need to keep hitting shots like that. Dennis, he's going to get a second chance to actually get in here. But Nico, in the meantime, once again, finding himself all the way in squeak room, just ecoing, just saving their stuff. Dennis as well is going to do just that. And Godsent, they've already got a way out of here. They figured it out through CT. They can go back through halls. There's no way that they're going to lose any of these guns, or at least they shouldn't. And now Mousesports, really, they're just gambling everything. They need to have these 2 rifles survive the end of this round. But that was all Godsent, just, powering forward, basically. Very effective take. Speedy, there wasn't a whole lot that he could hope to do. If he could have hit the headshot on the second man, that might have made the difference. But the opening kills and the fact that just Godsent finally went for the straightforward approach, all 4 just go charging through, no fear, back each other up. That was the ticket. Twist? Oh, through his legs.
Yep.
Wow.
Right in front of his shins.
Well, okay.
That would be painful, getting shot in the shins, I feel like. Don't do that. 8-6 is what we're looking at here, and Lekro opening up. Again, he's been very good with these entry frags. And look at Mousesports just running back into the bomb site, trying to stay alive. Puff opening up as well. Speedy, they didn't count on there being a 3rd man here, but this is still a fantastic trade coming in from the Swedish team. And now a rotation has happened, a full rotation, and Godsent, if they just leave one, actually Pronex here with the bomb, that might be a little bit too much. Kind of wish he wasn't the one potentially trapped in this corner in case he gets found, but so hard for Mousesports to guess what's happening on the map right now.
Yeah, they did get a bit ahead of themselves there with Godsent. They were teetering on the edge of overcommitting to that B site, trying to run in and force things when they didn't need to. They got the opening kill. All they need to do is sit back, so they do give 1 kill back to Mousesports. But now Godsent, they have so much time on the clock. All they need to do is wait for Mousesports to get antsy, to start spreading back out across the map, and then all they have to worry about is 1 player on that site when they decide to go for it. So for now, again, Godsent being very thorough, taking over mid, allowing themselves to get that mid control, so it keeps Mousesports guessing. And then they will be able to eventually collapse onto this B site. Schneider seems like he's going to be the man taking point here. Smoke goes down to block off his back, and then the push begins. Next, looks away just as it comes through, and it couldn't be worse timing. But Speedy is here, coming in from Link, in headshot now. Playing peekaboo with his team, but it's not going to happen. Schneider, the 2 big kills to give Godsent the B site. Nothing Nico could do. And it's almost as if Godsent are just like, okay, you know what? This guy Nico, just leave him alone. Like, we're just not even going to go A anymore. Just wait for him, and just keep putting him in impossible situations where either he has to eco or he has to go for a 1v4 retake.
Yeah, they've been dodging Nico quite well. In fact, you're absolutely right. Schneider ending up with a triple kill in the round here. And the score finishes 8-7 in spite of really, really early on it being 7-2 in favor of Mousesports. That was a scoreline at one point. And then for the rest of it, Godsent just bring it back. So very interesting game we have in our hands here. Way too soon to call. I'd call this a very even scoreline. No one really sort of coming out on top here.
I'd agree with that.
Second half's going to be fun to watch.
On cash as well, it's like,
yeah,
you can get a few more rounds on the T side. It's not the end of the world. 8-7. That still gives Mousesports some room to work with in the next round, going into the second half. And I'm really curious to see how that's going to go. If Nico's going to take point, go in as that entry, just try and create space for his teammates, or if it's going to be somebody else on the team deciding to step up and get the job done.
I have to say, I didn't expect to hear a Godsent chant when we came in here. I thought those were reserved only for NIP, but it's fantastic that you guys are making some noise for them. Definitely. 16th round is coming up now. First map still here at the 3rd quarterfinals. There's still a whole best of 3 to come. It's also going to be a fantastic game between NIP and Virtus Pro. But for now, we'll see if Godsent can win the pistol on the second half here. Nico, this is sort of a characteristic. Oh my God! Shutting down Schneider. Just a very, very tight angle. And while that's happening, Porf trying to see if he could use that confusion and chaos in the middle there to try and see if he can sneak out of the B-bomb side. That's going to allow Lekro to rotate on over, so they still have a decent defense over at A. But this is something Nico is just so good at doing.
Yeah, you're right, Anders. This is characteristic of Nico.
Yeah.
Not only picking up the deagle in the pistol round, but then still finding a shot or two, three! That's the difference, and now they know that the man is behind yellow as well. Twist will fight back, but Nico's still alive. He's still kicking, and he finds another one! 4 headshots for Nico in the pistol. Absolutely unreal. 9-7, and Nico just dominates in the most valuable round for his team at this point. Now they can just completely crush through.
Look at this kid. He almost looks like a little bit apologetic, like, I know it's too much. I know I shouldn't be doing this.
What?
With an absolutely grotesque performance.
What can you do but like shrug and just be like, ah.
There is nearly nobody in the world that can keep up with that.
I think we're getting close to the point where we can start saying that Nico's the best Deagle player in the world. Like,
or just the best player in the world.
Yeah.
It's absolutely absurd, isn't it?
He is pretty freaking crazy. All right, well, that's what Godsent are thinking too. Who the hell is this guy, and how do we deal with him? We avoided him on the A site the entire first half, and he still, was a pain for us. Now he just comes and wrecks us in the pistol round. And again, Godsent is the same story as what happened to them when they ran up against Chris J. They just cannot seem to get anything going on that pistol. Nico annihilates them this time. Last time it was Chris. But again, Mousesports, both pistols under their belts. And in the first half, they managed to follow up on that. They had a good anti-eco, played off of it, and managed to actually, shut out Godsent. So they got the 3 rounds. They could do the same thing right here. Because Godsent, they haven't fully invested. They've just gone for Deagles in this round. One man going for the Kevlar. And Twist showing that, hey, Nico, what's up? I can get 1 Deags too.
And that's much needed right now. They need to have a really strong start here on the CT side. They can't get into that really weird pattern where suddenly they don't have enough rifles, they don't have enough grenades either. Porf hiding in the corner here, P215 hand. Really great stuff, but Speedy gonna go and check for it. Gonna be Schneider to take down 1, but he's in a very bad spot right now. They're not gonna use a second grenade on him. They did have another Molotov if they wanted to fight him there, but Pronax not able to get the 1 Deags in, and Twist and Lekro. It's been a really good run for Godsent in this round, but it might end here unless they can get a really quick kill, which they do. Lekro picking up a shot on Chris. This round just won't come to an end, but there's 8 seconds. The bomb is going to be going down. This is too soon to call. Godsent could definitely win this round. Gonna go and pick up another rifle here, so we've got AK versus AK. No armor on Twist, though. Gotta be careful if he gets into a spray battle. And they do not have a kit picked up. Lekro, 1 flashbang. Is that gonna be enough to open up any kind of sight here? And there it goes. Flash pops in, and they only flash themselves. In fact, it seems Lekro gonna end up going down, and Twist doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to make it out right now. The lack of armor and this single headshot there from Nex is all it takes. Him getting a triple, Speedy with a double, and Mousesports will win the round. But it was expensive at least.
Yeah, that was much closer than expected, absolutely. And Twist starting it off strong, obviously, with the big 1 Deag. Comes through and manages to catch out Chris. That's Lekro. But basically, it's just Mousesports, just getting caught out of position. It looked like Chris wasn't able to spot that Lekro was up in the vents, and so Lekro had a bit of an edge going into it. Bit of an unlucky turn of events for Chris, considering Lekro was sticking his foot out, I think, like a second before Chris actually looked up there. So sometimes that's just the way it plays. But Mousesports, they do a good job of stabilizing on the site. And now we step into the 18th round. 10 rounds.
Take a look at where Twist is.
Yeah, this is a cool spot.
Having a grand old time.
Just, there you go. JW, eat your heart out.
It's actually easier than it seems to jump between those lights there. Gotta, go play some matchmaking, have some fun. You can even smoke yourself off up there if you were feeling really adventurous.
Yeah, that's the crazy one, right? And then it's just like, why is there a smoke up on the lamp? How did that happen?
In the middle of the wall. A little bit suspicious, maybe. Mousesports really, really being careful this round. They don't want to give anything away at this point. You can really tell that they're trying to be careful. They're trying not to get snuck up on anywhere, and I don't blame them for it. This is exactly how they should be playing around like this. Almost everyone is together, except for Nico. He's sort of a one-man army anyway, so just leave him alone. And they're making the correct call here, so everything seems to be working out right now for the Mousesports team.
Easy peasy. They could try and go for the retake scenario, but next, beautiful headshot there onto Twist, a truck.
Okay.
Yeah, that's as clean as it gets. That's like some Scream level shit. Oops.
It's not a family show, Semmler, don't worry.
Yeah, it's Dreamhack.
They talk about my one taps.
Still one of the best ads at the major.
It is. I like to talk about Scream's one taps, I'm not gonna lie.
But it's just Godsent getting set up, basically. After Nex, landed that, beautiful headshot there, Godsent just gonna go ahead and post up across the map and hope that they get lucky with the headshot somewhere on Mousesports. Mousesports with the AK. So, I mean, it would be perfect, actually, if Godsent could somehow make it happen, but Mousesports are playing it correctly, right? When you get into that after plant situation, you group up as 5, you stay tight, and if somebody does die, boom, you instantly take out the person who got the kill. They don't get to save an AK for free. So Lekro's just gonna leap in here, and, well, he's just gonna die instantly. Nico's there to shut him down, and the second man wasn't able to make it in time. So 11 rounds on the board now for Mousesports, 7 for Godsent. And well, Schneider, he's going to go for the AWP here for Godsent, but it's a full buy for Mousesports. They've got everything they need to just run away with this half. All the pressure is now on the Swedes. So if ever you guys were going to get a Godsent chant going, now is the time because they need your energy.
They absolutely do here. They're 4 rounds down, which is not necessarily the big problem, but the real issue is if they lose this round and they run out of money, and then it'll probably be 13-7. And at that point, it's going to be really hard to stop Mousesports. So almost do or die time here. Schneider quite aggressive, and he's got Porf backing him up, but yeah, I prefer it when Porf moved up a little bit here. They're being very aggressive right now. Got to be careful they don't run into Speedy, because he's out there waiting for them in a bit of a weird angle. Twist on the other side of the map, trying to see if he gets something done, and there was Speedy lurking about, waiting, looking for the second kill to come through. He's going to take the fight. Porf a little bit patient there with the taps, not spraying away, ends up getting the refrag, so pretty good job on him.
Yeah, well done by Palf, actually. That was key. Crucial that they pick off that man, they get the info, they don't spot anybody else, and then the perfect flash into A-main. Big spray, but Twist, he just tickles him. He doesn't even get a single kill. It's Lekro who picks up the kill onto Dennis, but instantly trade fragged by Nico. And Mousesports somehow, that was just huge, huge lucky play for them. The fact that they don't lose anybody to that magnificent push from Twist.
Yeah, he was flashed himself. I think he couldn't see what was going on. Grenade rains in, but they can't quite get the kill on Chris yet. They need this round. Pronax sneaking up with the AWP close range and walks right into Nex. Beautiful position from him. Puff out in the open on the electric box, and what could he possibly do from this position? They already snuck past him. Chris is right there, turns around, and it's just a free present for him. 12-7. Wow.
Can we get the replay of that Twist flash, actually? Because how flashed was Twist? Was Twist really flashed on it?
He was at least partially
right?
Enough that he couldn't see what was going on there.
Oh, a follow-up flash comes in.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
He just cannot see what's happening there.
That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking for Twist because, I mean, look at that. All of them flashed. That should have been a carnage. There should have been a bloodbath in there. Mousesports should have been obliterated. But instead, Mousesports are the ones marching on. They have the rifles, 12-7, and Godsent once again forced onto pistols. So they just cannot get anything going for themselves here, the Swedes, on the home turf. Nex is waiting in the perfect spot to pick up an easy kill. Speedy is there with them. They're actually stacked up one on top of another. So Pronax hoping to get lucky with a little bit of a peek there. Not going to happen for him. Oh, well, there's at least a little bit of information gained for Godsent. They're like, okay, there's 2 guys. They're being dicks. They're stacked up one on top of another. They're waiting for us to, peek around the corner. Great.
I mean, it was a really quick call the last round for Mousesports, just because as soon as Speedy was taking that sort of prolonged fight over by Toxic,
right?
They just make the call to go and execute on the A-bomb side. They know that one person's pushed out, he's fighting another one, and there was a third man there, and maybe if Speedy heard him or saw him, they would have known that there could have most have been 2 people on A, right? So they're very quick with the communication as well. And Speedy's been doing a really good job just holding outside of B, even though that's sort of a boring job to be having. Oh, Pronax has to make it out of there. That grenade. Goodbye, Pronax. Nex just finding him, but that's a good job from Lekro. Could have very easily been a second shot as well.
Now, Schneider, you need to show us some Nico level stuff here. With this dig, they're gonna walk right into him, and he's not able to hit a single shot. He gets 3 tries. Nex only needs the 1. 2 kills for Nex, and Mousesports, once again, they power their way onto a site, and it's Twist, well, once again as well, all alone. Seems like this happens a bit too much for Twist. It's just like, team, where did you go? Why are you dead?
That was where Nico was at in the first half, wasn't it?
Basically.
Every time they'd come to the B-bomb side, and he'd be stuck. 13-7 is absolutely inevitable at this point in time, so you're going to be going into the 21st round. The Godsent going to get another chance to make a buy out of it and see what they could do, but oh man, at this point, they're going to have to put up such a rock-solid defense, and they haven't shown us yet that they are able to do that. They haven't found the tools and the rhythm to be able to actually defend that well. We're gonna see.
I'm still blown away by Nexus' performance so far. I mean, it feels like so long since we've seen him really just drop a big scoreline on LAN in front of everybody. 22 kills for him, leading the way on the server. Nico's trailing behind him at 18, not too far behind. And then, I mean, everybody's doing work right now apart from Dennis. Dennis is having a little bit of a hard match, but still, I mean, when Nexus hitting all of his shots, that's perfectly fine. That works out for Mousesports. But now it's all on Godsent, and again, Godsent putting a bit of attention here on mid. They had that crossfire setup, all three of them actually. They will decide to change it up, however, as Twist makes his way back to that A site. Schneider taking a peek, and Lekro under pressure. They now know where he is, and he's going to roast unless he cancels it. And he does get that smoke down in time, but now that gives it away. Mousesports know exactly where he's playing from.
So he needs backup. Schneider really wants to come and help him out, but at the same time, he can't overextend either. They're bringing a third man in. They're going to try and take an actual fight in the middle, and they got to Nico being tempted to run up on the rooftop, try and see if he can shoot him from straight above, and that doesn't work out. Paul falling back now, using smokes and Molotov to buy time. It's a really good job from him just defending and making sure his teammates can rotate in, but he runs right into Speedy, who's really been picking it up in the second half here. Instantaneous headshot to bring one down, and Lekro going to be picking up Dennis. That comes next with a refrag instantly. 3-on-3, Twist tempting fate, walking through. He can't deny the bomb. You see him trying for the flick, but he's going to go down, and Speedy picks up a triple, next with a double. Speedy up at 19 kills right now. He's actually really performing much better than he normally does here. Going to put him at 14-7. Mousesports are just a couple of rounds away here.
And it's time for the timeout, basically. Godsent. They're tapping out, basically, because, yes, okay, so there was a little bit of a misunderstanding there. One of the players did drop out, I believe it was Pauf. So it was like, it started out as a technical, and then Pronax called for the actual tactical timeout. So this will be that 2-minute break here for Godsent on their CT side, as you guys can see the tactical pause. And right now, they just, I mean, really, they need to just take a deep breath, because again, they had a good call last round. They did manage to hold off Mousesports in mid. They didn't give anybody up to it. And it was actually the man backing off towards the B site that actually spotted out all three players. He gave all the info there to Godsent to actually act off of, because not only did he see the man in vents, but he saw all three coming through in the halls as well. So I mean, it's just like, okay, you have all the info, Godsent. How are you not able to just, you know, close down on that round and take it over from there? And that feels like it just, you know, sums up this first half so far, Godsent. You know, they just managed to get the info, but then they aren't able to either land the shots, communicate the information correctly. I mean, what is actually the problem here? Because right now, they're just struggling. 3 of them are still on single digits as far as the frags are concerned.
I mean, it is kind of hard to say. It is oftentimes a little bit easier to play on the terrorist side if you have less practice on a map, if you're less sort of routine on it, because you get to dictate the pace. And we saw how well they did trying to avoid Nico, and we've also seen the reason why they'd want to avoid Nico, because he is an absolute robot when it comes to aiming. But they can't really do that on the CT side. You know, he's going to have to come and find them, and at some point they're going to have to take the fights with him. And I think maybe as a response, they're thinking, let's try and put some pressure on them like they are doing here. But every time they've done it over at B, they've run into Speedy, and he's actually been the one shutting them down early on. Now they're trying it on the other side of the map, which I think is a reasonable plan. But then Nexus here, trying to see if he can take this fight with them earlier on, and he actually gets the shot on Twist. Barely survives himself, but it's good enough.
Sums it all up, doesn't it? Next continues to reign supreme. Godsent, they come so close, yet so far, they do not get the first kill of this round. And with 1:10 left on this clock, Mousesports now, they basically get to do what they want. They have all the gear. Godsent don't have any nades left to work with. It's going to be the boost up through mid. They can just, I mean, they can split through B. They can go for the split onto A at this point. They've got the incendiary to see if Lekro's waiting around in mid again. That's not the case for now. So now Mousesports, I mean, it's just everything works. They can go for the B split. It looks like that's been their play of choice so far, and they want to just keep rinsing and repeating. And 45 seconds left, and they go for it. Pauf is here along with Pronax, and they have to hit the shots, otherwise it's all over here. 14-7. There's just no backing up, and Pronax, he will get spotted, and it's just Dennis and Nico wrecking house. 2 entries, and the site once again belongs to Mousesports.
In my opinion, an absolutely asinine setup, what they had going on in there. But I really don't understand why people are so keen on standing right in that box in the front of the bomb site where Pronax was standing, so the sort of far left as you're coming in from the terrorist side. You can't do anything. You can't sort of back further up into the corner, which means once you've shown yourself, you are sort of almost officially dead. And your man in the bomb site is going to have a really hard time peeking out to help you anyway. once he does, he's exposed to so many angles, and he won't even necessarily know how to peek to help you. You know, he doesn't know he has to sort of peek left or right outside of the box. So I struggle to see how that setup is really ever gonna work unless you hit a really great pop flash, and then you'd have to just get some random timing in. So just not a big fan of it. And I've seen it used multiple times, and I can't actually recall even a single time where it works. Just the problem is,
RPK, I think, is like the main man who likes to play that spot along with the boxes, the first row boxes.
yeah, and even that fails almost every time, because the problem is, if they run underneath the sort of the high ground, but then they're gonna have such a good angle on you, and again, you can't back up anywhere. You have to just sit and crouch and spray at people. It really does. Oh wow, Schneider, he actually makes that jump over. That's so difficult. Tragically, he gets absolutely wrecked, but that's pretty impressive.
That's the movement right there. And well, Chris, he's gonna catch out Palf. Palf hoping to get lucky. Not gonna happen. Mousesports more than content to just sit back and wait for the peaks that are eventually have to happen for Godsent. And now Twist, all by his lonesome, once again alone. Will find the nice shot. That's like that feel-good shot where you're like, okay, at least I took Nico with me, right? At least I took Dennis with me, right? He's still got 50 HP, but he's in a 1v3, and it's gonna be a retake on the B site. This is gonna cost him so much time trying to rotate over, and it allows for Mousesports. Look at that plant. It's just, that's a nightmare plant. Twist is gonna have no cover, nothing for him to abuse.
That's just the brag plant at the end, just saying, we have this, we've won the first map. There's nothing that you could do about it. They even look how far away they are. They don't need to hunt him. It's the 15th round here. They can just wait for him to show up at the bomb site, and Twist has to go for an ace clutch, and that's probably not going to happen. He walks in here, tries to do some damage, but they're just peeking him, and there's Mousesports winning the first map in the quarterfinals here, 16-7.
Yeah.